Welcome to another adventure. Today I am at Copart. Big surprise because I don't do much business with Copart because straight up they suck, their fees suck. I think winning bid for this car was like 500 bucks. Total was 913. So nearly double in fees on a $500 winning bid. It doesn't make sense to me. Either they are working with insurance companies or insurance companies said, hey, we'll sell vehicles through you, but we're not paying you any fees, because Copart fees like nearly double. I mean, it doesn't make sense. $500 winning bid, you're paying 400 bucks in fees. So, I mean, IAA and Copart are the same. Copart customer service is just terrible. So I'm assuming insurance companies, more or less the big franchise sellers, are winning a lot. The buyer is always shafted. And I mean, without buyers, Copart insurance auction wouldn't exist. So more or less throw people a bone. But again, that's my personal thing. This is why I stay away from doing deals with them. But here and there, for laughs and giggles, I'll buy something cheap, just again, for laughs and giggles. And this was one of those purchases. It's a 2009 Pontiac G6, I think, coupe, 5-speed manual, maybe 6, but I'm assuming it's a 5-speed manual. Obnoxious yellow color. With like 110,000 miles with rear end damage. So checked in, again, the whole process of getting the cars. I've been doing this long enough to understand like this whole new system that they pushed out last 2 years is just dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like it slows everything down rather than streamlines it, but whatever, they have their own reasons. But once the vehicle gets out, we're gonna take a look. And we're gonna see what I bought for $900. Alrighty guys, well here's Bumblebee, because that's the first thing that comes to mind because it's yellow with black tint. So this is a little bit more than I saw, but essentially damage went right there, and you know, obviously it pushed out the bumper. So quick flip, doubt it, because I'm assuming the bar in the back probably got bent in. But let's take a look. Let's take a look. Check fluids. I have a jump box, I have some oil and whatnot, just very minor things. And see what we could do. Wow, that's a big gnarly gash. But anyways, I mean, 900 bucks for this. Actually, maybe I will try to just sell it like this because I don't really care too much. I just want quick cash at this point. Like a few quicker flips. So we have oil, we have coolant. I don't see why it wouldn't start on its own. But I will have to, oh man, that clutch pedal is soft. Kind of reminds me of Ford Focuses. Yeah, battery is dead. Okay, let me go get my jump box and we will try this again. Okay, moment of truth. Beautiful. E-brake is on. I'll need to cut this before we continue. Sounds healthy. Car is running. It's actually running very well. I was right. It is a 5-speed. Now the main thing is so I don't stall it, because obviously if I stall it, I'll probably have to jump start it again. Oh yeah, clutch grabs like literally at the end, but it's not a performance car. So in my experience, like cars similar to this, Focuses and whatnot, oh, this light just came on and it went off. And I don't know what that means. Okay, well, brakes are kind of towards the end also. But hey, if it runs good, like no grinding from the transmission or whatnot, for $900, I could clean it up. Honestly, I would be able to easily double my money, in my opinion.
A few moments later.
Guys, very sad day. I don't have 3rd or 4th gear. And now it says SVC tire monitor, which, okay, whoop-de-doo, no big deal. But I'm literally in 2nd gear. And this is the light. I'm sure it'll come on very, very soon. There you go, that light. Almost looks like I need help type of light. So I'm gonna put the camera down and guess I'll see you guys at the lot.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I can't help but laugh. One thing that sucks though, man, I waited over an hour to get this thing pulled out of Copart. I struggle finding good things to say about Copart. I really, really do. Especially Copart. But I purchased this from the insurance company, Geico, I believe. And I'm driving and I'm thinking, this is like literally the perfect example of I have no third gear, no fourth gear, and a friend goes, bro, why don't you just back it up into a pole and have the insurance company total it out? Does that look like he went into a pole right down the center? Bumper kind of bananaed, came out. And voila. Voila, guys. So confirmed, no third or fourth gear, but we do have first, second, and fifth. Fifth gear is what I use for higher speeds, and I was able to make it safely. Honestly, I can't imagine clutch or whatever transmission work for this is going to be expensive at all. And it actually runs really, really well. Like, very smooth, very like comfortable, no rattles, no weird noises. And the engine sounds fantastic. So take care of the transmission, probably detail the inside, make it more presentable, and then figure out what I am going to do with this and sell it. So obviously I'm not going to make as much money as I thought I would on it, but the next owner, from what I've gathered so far, will have a solid car with decent miles and a new clutch, possibly new transmission, I don't know. I'll start looking into that, but I like it, and the color's kind of cool, as weird as it is. Not a bad car, honestly, for the money, not a bad car. Worst case scenario, like if I wasn't a dealer and I bought something like this for myself, it would get me from home to work or whatever. First, second, slower speeds, fifth gear for the higher speeds. It's a-okay. So yeah, let me take out a whole bunch of stuff that I have here that I took with me in case I needed oil and whatnot, and park it, and then start brainstorming and see what comes from this. Oh, look at that, not too bad, not terrible at all. $900 for this.
Several days later.
Time has come to make a decision about this Yellowbird, if I may call it that. So what I have done over the last week and a half is actually try to figure out if it's worth fixing it or not. And I have come to the conclusion to not fix it. Basically, a new transmission is roughly $300. They're very inexpensive with lower miles, like 60, 70,000 mile transmissions for, yeah, $300 roughly. Labor, I've reached out to a few people. Best quote I got was 700 bucks. At this point, I'd want to replace the clutch also, since, you know, the work is being done. And OE, clutch, the whole kit is like 120 bucks. So again, very inexpensive parts. It's the labor, $700 for labor. So even at that point, I'm looking at what, $1,100, $1,200 for the transmission work. Plus we have the damage in the back, which will be roughly $400 or $500. At that point, I gotta put $1,600, $1,700 into this car, and I'll be what, 2.5 grand in it. Clean title, similar miles. They're listed between 4 and 5 grand, but obviously what they sell for might be a different price. But rough calculations, rough again, I'll be 2,500 in it, plus minus whatever. And I'd have to list it for what, 3 grand, somewhere around there. But this process will take a few weeks to get done. Order the transmission, wait for it to get here, probably a week for the mechanic to replace it, dial it in, make sure everything is working as it should. It's just not worth it. For, you know, $400 or $500 profit, it's not worth it. It would have been worth $400 or $500 profit if I could just sell it, you know, as is, if it didn't have the transmission issues. But here we are. So I am going to jumpstart it, and I am taking it back to Copart. And I will most likely take a loss at Copart with this car, because I am $900 in it, and obviously my winning bid was like $625, something like that. So even if that happens, if it gets $625 again, I will take, you know, $400 or $500 loss on this car. But it is what it is. You lose some, and then hopefully you make up some on the next car. But that's kind of what's happening with it now. It's early morning, and we are heading to Copart.
Soon after.
Doing freeway speeds, and look, she's comfortable. 5th gear, slightly over 2,000 RPM, 60 miles per hour. It's cruising. And I do like that the car is very buttoned down feeling, if that makes sense. There's like no weird rattles or clunking in the suspension control arms and whatnot. So honestly, this car definitely has a lot of potential. It's just not for me. This is a perfect car for someone who will buy it, can fix it up themselves, and be, you know, $1,500 bucks, $1,700 bucks in it, and enjoy it, because miles are fairly low. I think 110, somewhere around there. But we are a few minutes away from Copart, and I'm hoping for the best, hoping that, you know, maybe take a $100-$200 loss, nothing more, but I don't think that will be the case. As expected, she made it. And this car does run pretty darn well. Sykes did it. Had to end this way. But look, basically where I picked it up is where I'm dropping it off. Gotta grab my jump box and then do the paperwork, and adios, yellow bird. Okay, there we go. Got everything checked in. I'll take a picture just so that I could keep an eye out on it. And there we have it. There we have it, guys. Pontiac with Saab wheels is staying here. And hope I don't see it again. Honestly, I'll get this video posted if you guys are interested in following along, see what it does at the auction. Or if you're interested in buying it, then you guys could see that lot number. And honestly, I'll probably sell it. I was trying to do actually a pure sale, and the girls in the office made a really big deal about it. There's only 2 options, but why do you have 3 options on the darn paperwork? Anyways, Copart still sucks. And I want to say thank you for watching this very messy, unexpected lost video. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. And she wants to say something.
Thanks for watching.
Totally put her on the spot. Take care.